Hey everybody.
Hi everybody.
We're back. So back in March, Susan said with the pandemic, you need to plan, Susan said you need to plan for a 3-month plan, a 6-month plan, and a 1-year plan for what might happen with the pandemic. And people said, oh, pshaw, please, it won't be that bad. It's just the flu. It'll be gone in a couple of weeks.
I don't think they said pshaw.
Well, they said something. I can't say what they really said because, you know, this is going to go out broadcast to millions of people.
Yeah.
So, but Susan was, to say the least, not just prophetic, but profound in this prediction. And a lot of people didn't listen, and now people are kind of waking up as things open and close and open and close, and this pandemic continues to go up. And now they're facing...
In the United States, it's going down in other places.
To say the least, just right over the border in Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
It's flattened out,
Yeah.
and Europe has flattened out and gone down to really negligible kinds of things.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we're not doing this very well, to say the least, and what we really want to talk about is how do you plan in times of uncertainty, because we're in a very uncertain time.
Well, especially with children. I mean, I think that my heart goes out to the people who are at home with their children. That's difficult to
Yeah.
begin with, and also are working full time,
Yeah.
and also homeschooling their children.
Yeah.
I know that the statistics for women and depression have gone up, way up.
83%, I believe.
Yeah, it's very
increase
high.
in depression.
Very high. And that's because we have so many more jobs to do than we did before.
Right.
But in addition to that, the uncertainty is very, very damaging to everybody's psyche. So
And what I hear is people say, I can't plan because it's uncertain, and you
Right.
say,
no, that means you have several plans. You have 3 or 4 plans that you pull out because you need that plan now.
Right.
So, for example, we were doing a workshop, a very short workshop with a group we hadn't worked with before, and they were talking about what do you do with kids, and we don't know if we're sending our kids back, or if they're having a gap year, or if they're going to college, or if they're going back to
happened to be
elementary
a group
school.
in Colorado, and
A group in Colorado, and one of the things I said was you had to plan for all contingencies. So you have to plan for not sending your child to school, you have to plan for sending your child to school, and then you have to have a third plan, and I really urge all you parents to have a third plan for if school starts and then it's ended because people are getting sick. So you need to have 3 plans with regard to your children in school. 1 is they're going, 2 is they're not going, and 3 is they're going and then they're coming home.
as we just saw on TV, a summer camp in Missouri tested with 2 positives, and 3 days later they had 82
children.
positives.
Right. And the other thing that we're telling people, and this is something that you said, I think more than I said, was that you have to remember who the parent is.
You're the parents. You're the parents. School's not the parents. President's not the parents. Your governor's not the parents. You're the parents, and you're the ones who will have deep regrets if your child, God forbid, something horrible happens to them.
So what we want you to do is remember who it is that's in charge, and you're in charge. And you also are in charge of making the plans. I would involve your adult children in that. That would be anywhere from 10 on. I would involve children in the plans so that they feel like they have some control over what's happening to them. I would involve them with a plan about their masks, like what masks are the best masks to wear back to school.
Yeah, if they do go back.
If they do go back, and all of that. So I would have contingencies for all things that could happen, and I would be discussing this with my school-age children who, in ways that at their age they can understand.
Yes, and so again, people say, but wait, we don't know what's going to happen. Exactly. So you make 3 plans at a minimum for what might happen. And
exactly.
So and I will quote Eisenhower again, who our former president, who said, in regard to war, he found plans to be useless and planning to be invaluable. It is the process of involving your kids, of thinking through these options.
Of involving you and your mind in this process. And if you have a spouse, involving your spouse. If you have a partner, involving your partner.
Yes.
If you have parents living with you, involving your parents in this, elderly parents in this. We're elderly parents.
We are elderly parents, actually.
But anyway, you need to make a plan for any eventuality. So anything that's going to happen, make a plan for it. Trust me, you will feel much better if you have a plan in place. It will also direct you to doing the appropriate research, whether or not you need a fitted mask, whether you need one of the shields, whether you need...
And do your research. You know, you got to figure out will I send my kid back if there's plexiglass between him and another student? Will I send my kid back if he's only going every other day and the school population is less than 40% of its total?
Exactly.
You need to do your research about what's acceptable.
And then you, the parent or parents in your household, need to make the decision. And with the kids having input into the decision, but you need to make the decision because you are the parents. You are in control.
Which leads us right into, and this will dovetail into, are you going to go back to work?
Yes,
And
when.
And when and how and under what circumstances. And a lot of the really good corporations that we work with have in no way forced people to go back.
Right.
In fact, you almost had to have special permission to go back into the buildings.
Most of them have pretty much left it up to the individuals of whether or not they feel safe enough to come back.
Right.
And so I would say to you, you have to make some real clear decisions based on what you know or don't know that your company has done to keep you safe during this process.
So your plan for you and going back to work and your plan for your kids and going back to school dovetail together. And each of those variations that Susan described will set up a different set of contingencies for work as well.
Yeah, if you decide to, for example, if you decide to keep your children at home, there are homeschooling networks you can start being in contact with right now and start and seeing what you need to do to enroll your kids in the homeschooling networks. So you're not the only one doing the homeschooling. It's actually shared between a network of people.
I was shocked to see that 60% of people said they don't know what to do with their kids in the summer now that they're off. It's like, well, you must have an online device of some kind, even if it's just a phone. And there's 50 different options. Yeah. And we've already covered things like the aquarium and all these virtual tours you can take in the national parks. And there's 1,000 things you can engage
there are
kids
parents
in.
putting in all kinds of stuff in their yards.
Yeah.
And I mean, in their homes, they're
build your own cornhole games and all those games.
And get the kids involved in building. I mean, it's you know, if you've got summer projects to do, get them involved in the summer projects.
Teach them something and teach them about life.
Yeah.
This is always I always say make a list of the things you never were taught in life about how to balance a checkbook or how to read the stock market or whatever it is, and teach your kids about that. People have survived so much worse than being home for a year. Really, I was sick my entire senior year in high school, and look, I made it. I'm okay. I'm functional.
Maybe.
Relax. Well,
and sometimes.
So not all the votes are in. So anyway, and then we'll provide some support as well. So we have a couple different forms of support.
So there are a couple different things that are going on here. We're really, really, really busy in planning for this. So we have Managing Corporate Change.
Next week.
I
have one slot left. If you're interested, there's just one space left, and that is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it is the entire...
not the full day, from 8
Well,
until...
it's actually, we're going to run from 8 until 2 Pacific time.
Right.
We have folks on the East Coast that are in this, so we have to kind of manage time-wise. But it's going to be, you will get the entire course with all the pieces and parts. And a lot of interaction, Zoom breakout rooms, all this, just like if you were there.
That's like if you were there. We also have Advanced Women Moving Forward coming the week after that.
Yep.
And that's 2 days,
right up there.
The 22nd through the 23rd. And it's a little bit more than half day. That we're doing, and it's just like the course is done. Learning about your purpose in life and discovering what that is or refining what that is, and then how to live a more purposeful life, and then also getting rid of old declarations about yourself. And then the third thing we have coming up is we have our usual Women Moving Forward meeting get together for Women Moving Forward grads who want to connect with each other, and that's the morning of the 17th of July. So the 17th of July
next
is
Friday, a week from, if this airs today on the 10th,
a
week from today.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to seeing you at all those events, and
and keep giving us suggestions. We've had suggestions about doing like Managing Change 1 day a week for 5 straight weeks for a half day. We may try that. We got lots of options we're looking at. We're open to.
We're also looking at some of the other courses. So Smart People will be done virtually very soon. And we're looking at some of the other courses to see how many of them we can do virtually.
And maybe graduate classes, all kinds of options.
We're also thinking about having a get-together for all graduates, not just Women Moving Forward graduates.
Open to everybody.
Open to everybody, and making sure that you've read the book White Fragility.
White Fragility is a great one.
As
yeah.
a book discussion group that we would be doing with graduates from both Women Moving Forward and all our other courses.
So as they say, make your comments below.
Yeah.
If you have please give us this, or we need that, or what about this, or could you answer this question?
Well,
We will
and
respond.
if you need individual consulting, we're always available to do that too.
Doing a lot of that. I'm doing
Yeah.
a lot of one-on-one coaching right now, and it's going great. I have been totally impressed with the couple classes that I've been able to do completely
Right.
online. Your
Yeah,
advanced
Women
Moving
Advanced was really good.
went great.
Yeah.
And people have adapted, and some people like it better because you don't have to go to the hotel, I guess. And
Oh, they don't have to
fly.
travel.
Don't
Yeah,
have to
exactly.
Fly. So
Yeah.
something to be said for that.
Okay,
All right, guys.
everybody.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Contact us.
Remember, you're the parent.
You're the parent, not me, you. Bye.
Bye.